This episode's weird. Why does every Chad episode have to be weird? Welcome to Ranger Reviews, the website where we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 32nd episode of the show, Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, as well as the 360th episode overall, titled The Chosen Path. We start this episode in the Skull Cavern, where Batlings are acting as butlers to Lokai, Viper, and Olympius. The hell is going on? They're playing with mice and eating them, apparently. Olympius and Lokai then get into an argument, and Olympius just totally gaslights Lokai into making a monster, so he makes Cyclopter, a new muscle man monster, to take on the Batlings. In a forest by a river, Dana is training with a mannequin, and Joel runs by. Kelsey and Chad are repelling. Training. Afterward, they all get ready to go into the Hummer, and Chad is called from behind. It's Mr. Tamashiro, who claims that Chad Lee abandoned all of his training. He tells the other Rangers how he could have been a world-class karate master. He insists that him becoming a Power Ranger is a waste, and Chad is like, I need to follow my own path. And Tamashiro says, you chose the wrong one. What? In the Aqua Base, Chad is complaining about how he feels terrible because Tamashiro was like a second dad to him. He's venting to Kelsey, and she points out that being a Ranger is important too, but not to Tamashiro. Carter calls them to the dojo. Looks like Cyclopter is there banging stuff around, and he goes after some dude screaming about where the Power Rangers are. He shows up all morphed, and he challenges them all to a fight. He wants to prove he's the best. Carter shoots him down, and Cyclopter is like, you can't use weapons. The Rangers take out their V-Lancers, and Cyclopter wants hand-to-hand combat. For some asinine reason, the Rangers totally agree to this, and of course, they all get tossed around pretty easily. But now, Mr. Tamashiro is there, and he challenges Cyclopter. He tosses a carton at him, but as soon as Cyclopter goes in for a fight, this sensei tosses him down a long staircase, scaring some poor cat. Cyclopter, ashamed, runs away. The Rangers power down, and Joel is like, that was wild. Chad introduces his friends, but Tamashiro just gets his stuff and leaves. Chad invites him back to the Aqua Base, and he's like, I have no interest in such foolishness. Kelsey tells Chad to go follow him, but Chad refuses, walking away, so Kelsey goes instead. She catches up, and she explains that Chad really looks up to him, and he needs to accept him as the Blue Power Ranger. And Tamashiro says, no, walking away. Kelsey then mocks him from afar. Later, Tamashiro is looking at a photo of him and Chad, but now, here's Cyclopter, who has arrived with a bunch of Batlings in karate garb. Cyclopter begs to be Tamashiro's student, and he says he wants to leave evil behind him and learn from the greatest teacher. Immediately, Tamashiro's like, well. Then Lokai shows up screaming at Cyclopter, saying he's supposed to be killing the Rangers, but Cyclopter kicks him back, saying that he quits. The Batlings scatter as Lokai disappears. Cyclopter begs once more from Tamashiro, and he thinks for a moment. Now they're training together in a montage with some Asian-influenced music in the background. Lots of rock stuff and punching goes on here. Chad is out on a run, I guess in khakis, and he sees Cyclopter and Sensei fighting. Chad runs out, telling Sensei to get back, but Cyclopter refers to Sensei as a teacher. He says that he finally found a student that is truly dedicated, and Chad's like, he's a monster? Now Chad is fighting Cyclopter unmorphed, and god, we need more unmorphed Chad fighting in this damn season. Cyclopter tosses Chad aside, and Tamashiro is proud of Cyclopter for his progress. In the Aqua Base, Chad is pissed off that Tamashiro is doing this, and Kelly says that it's pretty stubborn for both of them. Chad is caught up on his own pride about this, and he actually needs to just go help someone that's clearly in trouble. Chad agrees, leaving. Meanwhile, Cyclopter is doing some weird tornado spin attack. He blows up a rock though, so I guess that's karate now. Tamashiro says there's nothing more he can teach him, because I guess Tamashiro only knows one day's worth of stuff. So Cyclopter says, well, guess I don't need you then, flipping Tamashiro onto the ground and leaving. Well, he's now throwing stuff and causing destruction in the city. The Rangers show up on their Lightspeed cycles, so they take on Cyclopter. Well, everyone except for Chad. Chad is running through the forest and he finds a hurt Tamashiro against a tree. He explains how Cyclopter lied to him, and Chad helps him to a rock. I mean, did that really help there, Chad? Cyclopter is still beating the crap out of the others, and Chad gets a call from them. Chad tells Tamashiro he has to go, and he says, no, Chad can't go. Cyclopter was trained super well, and Chad must have forgotten all of his training by now. Tamashiro says, prove that you haven't. So the two spar, and Chad kicks down Tamashiro. This is a really bad day for Tamashiro. Chad remembers everything, so Chad's gonna go. Cyclopter claims to have beaten them all, but Chad shows up pissed off. He ain't even going to morph right away. Instead, he takes on Cyclopter out of suit, which I love. He gets hit onto the ground, but he gets right back up. Tamashiro is now there watching. Seriously, this fight is amazing. Chad wins, hitting Cyclopter down, posing. Cyclopter calls out a weapon, which feels like he definitely is breaking his own, one rule. Chad morphs. Now all five are taking on Cyclopter, and at this point, just let Chad handle it, guys. Chad saves Joel from getting hit, and Chad calls out his V-Lancer. Carter goes to fire, and Chad calls the others off, saying that this is his fight now. Cyclopter charges forward, and Chad slashes him a few times, getting him down, and then he just explodes. Well, it was that easy all along. Tamashiro celebrates that they won, thinking, and then he leaves. Loki calls for Jinxer to do something, so here's a giant Cyclopter. The Rangers call it the Omega Megazord. They form it, and Chad realizes that Cyclopter is using the moves from Tamashiro. So Chad takes over and uses the same moves back before they use the missile spear thing, killing Cyclopter. R.I.P. Wait, did we seriously get this many episodes into the franchise without a monster named Cyclopter? In the Aqua base later, Chad is looking at one of his karate trophies. Joel walks in asking what's up, and Chad assumes that Tamashiro probably still hates him for being a ranger still. Joel says you can't worry about what other people think. But then Kelsey comes in asking is everyone decent because she has a surprise. It's Tamashiro who is asking for a tour of the Aqua base. Aw, that's kind of sweet. Chad gives him a tour of the facility talking about how they keep everyone safe. Tamashiro says that today he has learned from Chad instead. Mitchell and Fairweather show up to collect their paycheck for the week, introducing themselves to Tamashiro. Tamashiro says that Chad is great because did you know he's the Blue Ranger? This is kind of awesomely sweet. The end. This episode has a really strange beginning. The conceit of it is so strange. I mean, why would someone be mad that their student chose to use their martial arts to then go and save humanity? Like, that's bizarre. Also, he just trains a monster? Like, that's psychotic. But the end of it kind of works, oddly. Chad and Tamashiro being like family feels real for some reason. I think the actors really sell it, and their bond is softly spoken of as opposed to like Dana constantly screaming, "Father!" This one feels more organic. I also love that Kelsey and Chad are so close, and Kelsey's the one who went and got Tamashiro for Chad. Just a nice episode overall with some fantastic action. Next time, time loop? But until then, may the power protect you.